Watson. My name is Buffy Merriman. Thank you for coming in today. Have you seen a counselor before?
No, I haven't. This is my first time doing something like this.
Okay. Well, I just need to let you know that you have the absolute right to confidentiality of your therapy. I cannot and will not tell anyone else what you have told me, or even that you are in therapy with me without using your prior written permission. Under the provisions of the Healthcare Information Act of 1992, I may legally speak to another health provider or a member of your family about you without your consent, without your prior consent. But I will not do so unless the situation is an emergency. I will always act so as to protect your privacy, even if you do release me in writing to share information about you. You may direct me to share information with whomever you choose, and you can change your mind and revoke that permission at any time. I must contact the proper authorities if I have good reason to believe that you will harm another person, if I have good reason to believe that you are abusing or neglecting a child or an adult, an elder adult or a dependent adult. If you give me information about someone else who is doing this. Also, if I believe that you are in imminent danger of harming yourself. Do you understand what I've just explained to you?
Yes, I do. Yes.
Okay. Do you have any questions for me?
No, I don't.
Okay. So what brings you to our office today?
Well, I was asked to come here because of my boss.
Okay. What was the reason your boss asked you to come here? Was there an incident that caused your boss to tell you to come here?
I passed out a few times at work, but it's not really that big of a deal. They're making a big deal out of nothing.
Well, you passed out. That sounds pretty serious.
I just think they're making it a bigger deal than what it needs to be.
Okay. And it sounds like your employer is genuinely concerned for you if he sent you here to talk to me. Would you agree?
I guess. I mean, I guess it's not a big deal, and it's not really any of their business.
I understand. I agree that it's your business. However, when it's affecting your job, wouldn't you agree that it would then become your employer's business to a point?
I mean, I guess so, but I don't have a problem, so I don't think this is exactly fair.
Okay. Well, tell me a little bit about yourself. What was your childhood like growing up?
I mean, things were like really great as a kid. My mom and dad were super happy together. They had been together for about 10 years. I was 9 or so when, like, the first memory that sticks out in my head was I kind of got like made fun of for being chubby. I was starting puberty a little bit early, but you know, that's my earliest memory. But in general, things were pretty good for like a while.
Mm-hmm. So when you were made fun of, what happened? Was somebody...
Well, they had noticed that my tummy was bigger than their tummy. They just poked at it and called it like flubber or something. Like, that movie was really popular at the time. So they just, compared me to that. I didn't really feel very good.
No. Yeah, that must have been hurtful.
Yeah, it was really hurtful.
I mean, it's something you still remember to this day, so it's definitely affected you.
It sticks out in my mind. But, you know, I was pretty resilient, so I kind of just shrugged it off for a while. And then middle school, you know, typical body changes. Things were, once again, not getting better. I wasn't slimming out like the rest of my friends were, but I hadn't had an issue with my weight, so I still don't technically, but yeah.
So you would say that you're happy with the weight that you're at?
Yeah, Well, I mean, I could always lose a couple pounds, but not big in general. Yeah, I think I'm doing great. I fitting in my size 2. Bikini season is coming up soon. We're going to Jamaica this Christmas, so I gotta slim down a little bit more.
Mm-hmm. So if you're not eating enough throughout the day to the point to where you're passing out, that's really a problem. Do you think that is due to some of the feelings you're having that began back when you were a younger girl?
It's arguable, maybe. I don't know. I guess, but like around in high school, that's when I finally started to I started to lose a lot of weight in high school for reasons, but I guess that kind of carried over after a while. But yeah.
So, how did you lose it? Was that by dieting or?
Well, I found something online. I had been made fun of again, which this time I didn't bounce back, no pun intended, as well as I wanted to. So the internet was like at my fingertips. I just thought that if I can research a little bit and figure out how to fix myself, because I definitely needed to be fixed.
There's a lot of misinformation on the internet, though.
I mean, there's a lot of people that follow it. There's a lot of people who, back it up all the time. I felt like I did some research when I was only like 15, 16. But, I looked it up and then I found other people on the website who I could talk to and see how well they were doing.
So what kind of things were you looking at? What kind of websites?
Something about being thin and saying that like it was just a lifestyle and that it should be accepted and that people are using the word anorexia. It's not. They're preaching to me that it's not a disorder, that it's it's a lifestyle. If you want to be skinny, you want to look good, you want to kind of feel good. I guess what matters more is looking good, not as feeling good. But yeah, I just thought it was really interesting. Well, if I wanted to finally start to, be like everybody else and be like those models you see on TV and in magazines. So yeah, I just was reading about it and I thought that it might be for me. And turns out it was. And I really like it.
Mm-hmm. So you're, based on what you're finding on these websites, is that how you're basing your calorie intake on their information there?
Yeah. They want us to keep your carbs, your calories, and all your sugars really low. I got on Amazon and I ordered one of those food scales. So I just very meticulous about what I'm eating, putting in my body, making sure it's not too much, just because I want to make sure I stay thin. But yeah, I do feel tired like a lot, but I don't know, it's not that big of a deal to me. I'm starting to finally lose enough weight where I'm feeling good. But yeah.
So would you say that it is more important for you to be thin or to be healthy?
Thin for sure. I think thin will always trump what is considered healthy. At least that's what that website had told me. I still go, I'm on that every day. I'm checking Facebook. I gotta make sure that I'm following what the lifestyle is like, because it's, like I said, it's just acceptable. And, I'm making it work somehow. My last doctor's appointment wasn't really good. I was about 40 pounds underweight, but that's what that's what I want to be, so it's all right.
So do you think that there would ever be a point where you would be thin enough?
Maybe one day, maybe not. It's always this no one's giving bodybuilders crap when they're working out 10 times a day, and then why is it, I'm just doing the same thing, but instead of working for it, I'm not really working for it. I'm not doing anything to add to my body.
Well, I would probably argue that bodybuilders spend a lot of time eating back a lot of those calories, and you do know that if you're eating anything under 1,200 calories a day, that's technically
1,200? Who would reach that? Oh man, I'm doing a fraction of that. Jeez.
So, do you know that that's very unhealthy for you?
Okay. I've heard it's not good for you, but like I said, I mean, this is what I choose to do. It's my life, my body, right? This is 2018.
This is true. However, you're the one responsible for taking care of your body and making sure that it's strong and healthy, and definitely eating under 1,200 calories is an unhealthy choice for you. Would you say that you think that you're still kind of living in that time where you felt like people were making fun of you, and where maybe you were the center of some bullying?
Yeah, I guess. When I'm like counting out my, like how much I want to eat on my little scale, it kind of like sometimes like crosses my mind, like the flash of, you know, elementary school, getting called, you know, flubber, and then going all the way to high school, and then discovering that website and kind of wishing that never happened. But I don't know. I mean, I guess technically that's wrong, but I don't know. I don't see myself changing anytime soon. But I guess it's not good when I'm like passing out at work or fainting on the bus, going to work, or being able to hardly stand up in the morning when I get out of bed because I hadn't eaten for about 26 hours or so. So I don't know. I guess now that I say it, it doesn't sound very good. But I don't know. I just think it'd be hard to change.
Yeah, well, I don't think you're bad. I don't think it's bad. I understand why you would want to do the things you're doing, and I understand wanting to look a certain way, but I also think that there are other healthy ways to go about that, ways that don't end up causing you damage to your internal organs and things like that. That's ultimately the price that people pay when they take that route to lose weight. So I think, you know, a lot of times when we have something traumatic happen to us, we have to kind of go back to the scene of the crime and investigate why we feel the way that we do. Sometimes there's a reason at that pivotal moment that you chose to go in the direction that you did. We know that what happened to you when you were younger was hurtful, definitely mean and wrong, but it wasn't your fault.
That's true, yeah.
You weren't the wrong one. They were.
It's one of those things where you can't really control what other people say, and kids suck, you know, society sucks.
Right, but that's hurtful, and I mean, that hurt you, and rightfully so.
I just feel so anxious lately about it, you know. I just don't want to have too much food, and if I have too much, I just want to be able to lose it like as fast as I can. But I don't know. I guess you're right. Like when I was in high school, like 10, 15 years ago, it's a lot different now. I don't remember those kids' names. So maybe, I don't know. Maybe I can think about changing.
And they probably don't remember doing that to you either. That's oftentimes when someone hurts your feelings, you know, a person can carry that with them for their whole life, and the person who did it to them doesn't even remember or realize that they did it. So even though it was malicious and hurtful, it's quite possible it was just an ignorant thing for an ignorant child to say, and probably not really true. You know, everyone's kind of going through body changes at puberty, and it's possible that, you know, it really was something that was exaggerated, you know, by this child.
That's true. I didn't really think about that.
Do you think that this situation at work, do you think that there's any hope for you to possibly tweak a few things about how you eat, even if you could just show your employer that you're making that effort while you're at work? would you be willing to make a few changes?
Yeah, I think that would be a really good idea. I don't want to risk my job. I mean, of course I prefer to be thin and then like not care that much about my health technically, but I guess if I'm looking at the sense of my employer and keeping my job, I guess it's like a baby step.
Mm-hmm. So what are some things you think you could do differently, at least while you're at work?
Well, just I guess I can technically continue counting calories, but have a goal, like, right? Would you say like maybe? Okay, yeah, I only usually eat like 200 to 300. Maybe today I'll push for 4 or maybe 5. I don't know. Do you think? I don't know. This.
Well,
you're asking. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I definitely think you could add some calories in. I think if that scares you and makes you too uncomfortable, you could also try and make sure you are eating the majority of your food while you're at work, so you don't have this just as a stepping off point, so you don't have this type of incident happen again. That would at least show an effort there. I definitely think adding some calories would be the healthy choice for you. However, that's a choice you have to make for yourself. But just knowing that it is a choice that you have to make for yourself is really the first step. So just admitting that is huge, So you've already made a step in the right direction. So I think that's great. I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
Is there anything else you want to talk about?
I mean, besides, I kind of feel occasionally down about everything, like feeling a little depressed. Because I just, like, there's something deep inside me that's like, no, this isn't right. But I don't know, I think, like, talking to you is good progress. I feel like I could just, keep coming back and figuring it out together, I guess. But like I said, we'll see. I'll give it a shot, and I'll work on eating a little bit more, but I don't know. Right?
Yeah, I think that depression tends to go hand in hand with what you're going through. We need food. We need to feed our brain as well, and it can definitely cause us to be blue if we don't eat. It can cause us to be moody, as everyone pretty much acknowledges in our society, but it can also cause you to be down and sad, and rightfully so, because when you're not feeding yourself, you're mistreating your body, you're neglecting your body, and your body suffers, and it's going to give you warning signs in different ways. So depression is definitely going to go hand in hand with what you're going through, but I do believe that the more steps you make to make positive changes, I think you'll feel happier and happier in the long run. So
yeah, I'll definitely consider taking those steps. But yeah, so after this you're gonna tell my employer I showed up and then we're good to go? Is that how this works? Or?
Yes, and then you just need to reach out to our office and give us a call if you have any issues in the meantime. If you if you're having any severe depression or any other episodes that you want to speak about, you can come in between your sessions, and you just need to attend your regularly scheduled sessions, and we'll work on your first small goal first, and then when you come back to see us, maybe we'll gradually add some things to that, just depending on how much success you feel like you're having. So
I'm feeling pretty confident. Like compared to when I first came in, I was not having it. But I don't know. Maybe you definitely pointed out some things that maybe I should think about and maybe reconsider. So I feel like this was a really good baby step. I'm glad my boss made me do this.
Good.
I bet painting at work was probably very scary for a lot of people, but yeah.
Well, you've been very brave in coming here, and I'm very proud of you.
Thank you.
And so our time is up, but we'll see you next time, and thank you for coming in.
Thank you.
Okay.